And she had the nerve to tell me, oh yeah, I was just taking selfies in the bathroom. I didn't know that you go to the bathroom and go play with the iPad. Angel, Lucifer. So you a fallen angel. Audience, Samuel Sylvie Q, Earthquake, New Day, Fresh Blessing, Life Carefree. Welcome all family, friends, new subscribers to my channel. So we're gonna get right into the proceedings right now. We're gonna talk about 4 characters besides me to make this story go a lot smoothly. We talk about Scandinavian time. I would say it's part 2, but it's not. However, it's the same process. So the day before, I had to deliver a vehicle to a customer. Later on that day, I barely got enough sleep. Therefore, that's where Morgan's request came into play, and that's when I recorded the video before I had gone on this trip. So this trip was a month before what I'm talking about right now. I got the email in March, and this was April, so this is a month fast forward. I was supposed to go to California, Irvine, California. It's about 5.5 hours away from Phoenix. So I had to take a trip separately from my coworker. It was me and Coral. So we drove different cars because I guess it was our choice. So when we arrived there, it is the afternoon. Now it's check-in time. We get our water bottles, we get the different apps, we load it up, put in our data. Now I'm on team 3. And Coral was on team 1. Coral is my co-worker, and the 3 other characters are as follows. Rome from California, about an hour away from Irvine, and he worked in service for our company. We got Antonio, who is corporate manager, hour away from Irvine. And then lastly, we have Quartz, 2.5 hours away from Irvine. So the latter 3 people that I mentioned were from California, and me and Coral was from Phoenix, Arizona. So we go to dinner time. That's the first time that I meet Rome. First person I talk to. We're kicking it, they got the appetizers out. Now on the menu, it was 3 different options to choose from. You have salmon, chicken, or steak. Most of the people like steak, so I chose salmon. It was a seafood place. And of course I was sitting with the salespeople and some of the service people, and we're just having a good time. Also at our table, you got Coral, and then you got Quartz. Now I found out through our interaction that Quartz was on my team, team 3, and Coral was on team 1. I was along with Rome. Antonio was on team 3. So after when we get back to the hotel, Antonio and Rome, they finally see each other in person. Now they were texting, we'll just say, for a while, but this is the first interaction, first face to face. So they're having a couple of drinks, and I go back upstairs. I'm on the 12th floor of the Marriott. We stayed there. The view from the hotel room. The highway on the left-hand side. They have a BlackBerry building. Of course, you got the courtyard. They have a Taco Bell building right across the street from here in the Ford dealership. I fall asleep. Morning time. It's time to get the real work in. The highway. BlackBerry. Back there's the mall, Regal, the movie theater, courthouse, other big buildings, city skyline. Parking lot. I wake up at 6:30 because we have to be on the bus at 7:45. So I had to eat some breakfast. Go downstairs, we have the voucher tickets. It's a nice group of people there. It wasn't everybody. So on the menu, we have French toast. We have berries with cereal. And then we also have, we'll just call it the breakfast sampler. Potatoes, eggs, bacon, toast, sausage. So I get French toast. Everybody gets their own different types of drinks, and of course we're talking, saying, man, this is so early, not used to waking up this early. It's about 7 something. Then Quartz walks down, and she sits right next to me. She orders a decaf coffee. That defeats the purpose of having a coffee, because coffee, you're supposed to be drinking coffee to get energy. She said, man, I wish that they had seltzer drink, which is an energy drink. Never heard of that. When I think of seltzer, I thought of seltzer water, seltzer soda. So she looks on the menu and she's sampling everybody's food since we're already eating. And she's like, you know what? I'm not really into sweets, but I'm gonna have French toast. So she had the famous saying this: I'm gonna go whatever he's having. So she gets the French toast with the water and decaf coffee. So when we're supposed to be leaving, it's about 7:45. Me and this other employee was waiting for her. She's like, yeah, I'm about to go to the bathroom. 10 minutes later, I go outside the Marriott and play watchdog in front of the door so they won't leave me and I won't leave them. And she had the nerve to tell me, oh yeah, I was just taking selfies in the bathroom, because they had an iPad. I didn't know that you go to the bathroom and go play with the iPad. So we go to the event, corporate building, and it's very interactive. I mentioned the teams before. It was 7 people on each team. It was 3 teams. And we are in an engaging discussion, past history of the company, what is happening currently, and our future plans. And of course, we're test driving the new vehicles. Fast forward, unlike Citroen's Treasure, which I took the L and I came in second place, we ended up winning. And we had portable chargers. That was our prize. So after the event, we go back to the hotel, we go back to the Marriott. Now my original plan was to go to the mall for about an hour and a half so the traffic could die down and then I could go back home to Arizona in a smooth transition back home. However, that didn't happen because Antonio, Rome, Coral, and Quartz was like, hey, do you want to have dinner with us? I was like, fine. So we go to the patio outside the Marriott, and I know the Marriott is not a cheap hotel. You're gonna have very expensive food. So we start off with the drinks. Now, surprisingly enough, the waitress name was Eleanor. I order water. Antonio orders an old-fashioned. Rome orders Dutch. Coral orders spicy jalapeno margarita. And then Quartz orders a some type of witch drink. And she's just throwing back drinks. She's obviously not a lightweight because she's been through the same process over and over again. And Tony was like, okay, what do you want for your appetizer? So we ordered Brussels sprouts. The Brussels sprouts, they had pomegranate. I was like, I love pomegranate, don't really like Brussels sprouts. I think that'll ruin the flavors. So I was like, no deal. I'm not partaking in this meal. Me and Rome order pasta. Coral and Quartz order fish. Antonio was like this: I'm gonna get the pork chops. However, when I get pork chops, my skin starts getting irritated. I start to swell up in the lips. And we're all hearing this like some ad that we see on the TV when you're popping pills and you list all these side effects like a doctor. So while he's going through all this detail, Quartz is like, oh, don't worry about it. Because if that happens, I'm going to backhand slap you and fronthand slap you to make sure that doesn't happen. And all three of us hearing this, we're witnessing, we're like, she's aggressive. So the food stops by. We're eating. Quartz, she's like, I think she just wanted fish because she left the rice and peas. And she was just drinking. Antonio asked, how was our nights yesterday? I was like, when it got to me, it was like, I looked down at the pool, said it was nice, I went to sleep. That's all I could say. And then he was like, I had pasta yesterday. It was very good. How was it? And I gave him my standard answer. He was expecting me to say good, it was okay. I said, it's a meal. And then I'm looking at the table, and since we're discussing the BS, our backstory, we got 2 divorced, 3 cuff, 2 single. That adds up to 7 people. I'm not here to discuss anybody's business, but I was one of them who was single. Rome was discussing, you know what? I'm thinking about getting my fiance a proposal ring. How much does it cost? So Quartz, she used to work at a financial manager at some jewelry business. And Antonio was in that business, in that realm of relationship before. So they're giving him game. Quartz is like, man, my ex-fiance gave me a dirty diamond. Now, I never thought that diamonds could be dirty. Who am I to judge? Antonio was like, listen, don't get the white diamond. You want to get the yellow diamond because the white diamond is a little bit too expensive. You want to get the yellow diamond because it sparkles. That was it for that conversation. So we end up eating, and then shortly after, that's when Coral's like, you know what, I gotta get on the road. I was like, okay, cool, I'll see you at work. She's like, alright, cool. So then Rome goes to the bathroom. He's like, yo, where's the bathroom at? So we point him over, like, alright, the bathroom's that way. After we're done eating, of course, they're reloading on the shots. They need more ammo for this conversation. Now, I'm just a witness drinking water. Antonio asks Quartz, so, are you like Eve? She was like, I'm not Eve. I'm not that pure. I'm not that innocent. And I'm definitely not a serpent. So she was getting all Bible. She was referring to the Bible a lot. Now, I'm not very religious like that, but that was the gist of it. But I know that it happened in Genesis. She said, I'm more like an angel. And then she went back, she doubled back and said, I'm like an angel, I'm like Lucifer, which is like the devil. So I'm thinking in my head, I didn't say this. I'm like, listen, angel, Lucifer, so you're a fallen angel. And then she was explaining how good of a person she is when she was just taking credit when everybody was here saying that, oh yeah, I won, not we won, not team 3 won. She was like, yeah, I won. I was like, yo, hold your horses. Because I know that's all about you, but listen, it is 3 people at the table currently. And then she started talking about her BS, her boyfriend, how she wishes that he was here, how she was supposed to be a lawyer, but then she didn't have enough money to pay for school, so she dropped out, and that's why she joined this business. And she is on the soapbox right now, and we're listening. Me and Antonio was listening to her problems, and we're like the jury. So we're listening, and then she goes to the bathroom, and I tell Antonio, I'm like, listen, this has to be the first and last time that you taking Quartz out like this, because obviously whatever's on the menu is not cheap. It's at least $15. We're talking about the drinks, and the food is about $30. Like, yeah, I know, but we just gonna have her keep on talking. So then Rome comes back, and we thought that he said that he was fixing up a nosebleed. Rome is cuffed. When I thought of nosebleed, I thought of anime, because with anime, when a character has a nosebleed, it's mostly a male. That means that he was very aroused. He was arousal by the female character that was attracted. Now, in this case, it was obviously Quartz. So that's what I thought in my mind. I didn't say it to him. Also, while he was gone, she was like, man. So she came back. She was like, where's the homie at? I was like, me and Antonio was like, she just met him. Why is she calling him homie? In latest terms, when a girl calls you homie, that's aka the friend zone. He was okay with it too. So fast forward down the line, I get everybody's numbers. And like family and friends, like I tell you guys, I don't like taking pictures. But I popped a question with Quartz before I was leaving. I was like, do you want to take a picture with me? So she hesitated. I'm like, listen, there's a yes or no answer. She said, yes, yes, yes. This is the first time in my lifetime that a girl actually said yes to the question. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. And she held out her hand like this for a handshake. She's like, are you going to leave me hanging? I said, I guess so. And I left. So as I'm leaving, I'm thinking that I'll avoid traffic. However, I walked right into traffic. They wanted to do roadside assistance on the highway. It's about 8 o'clock. Hour and a half later, I get on the road, the railroad. And I end up going back to my house at 3 a.m. About 6 or 7 hour drive. And that was about it. Audience, I want to thank you guys for watching. This is the BS The Backstory to my family, friends, new subscribers. I know you out there. Walk easy.